question is that the bill be read a second time. I give the call to Honourable Member for Barton.
Thank you, Speaker. It is no secret that we are seeing the rise in anti-Semitism, hatred and extremism in this country, and more recently the nation experienced its darkest day in recent years at Bondi Beach in December last year. And this bill is part of our response to this horrific event and a piece in the puzzle of restoring social cohesion in our wonderful nation. There are key reforms presented in this bill that I want to highlight because a few constituents have reached out to me with claims about its effects that are untrue and inflammatory. And such claims stem from online disinformation and those across the chamber sometimes. And I'm glad that we've come together as a parliament to make these changes. And let's be clear about what they do and not fall into this dangerous echo chamber that only seeks to divide this nation. Firstly, the introduction of a new aggravated offence for preachers and leaders and for adults radicalising children, where these actors advocate for violence against others and they will face penalties up to 12 years of imprisonment. Secondly, this will significantly increase penalties for hate crimes. These captures offences involving advocating or threatening force or violence against protected groups, member of groups, their close associates and their property. Penalties will increase them from 5 to 7 years for base offences and from 7 to 10 years where there's an added threat to a public order. Thirdly, the bill will amend the Crimes Act 1914 to introduce a new general sentencing principle that will require the courts, when sentencing a person for a Commonwealth offence, to consider an offender's hate motivation based on race or national or ethnic origin as an aggravating factor. This will encourage judges to apply a higher penalty within the maximum penalty range where hate motivation is a factor in the commission of crime. Moreover, this bill will establish a new framework with a criminal code to enable the listing of organisations as prohibited hate groups. Once an organisation is listed, it will be a criminal offence to direct the activities of or be a member of, recruit for or give funds to or participate in training involving the organisation. Amongst other tests, and before a group is listed, the AFP Minister must also obtain the Attorney-General's agreement in writing and arrange for a briefing for the Leader of the Opposition. On top of this, the bill will strengthen and expand the prohibited hate symbols offences in the Criminal Code. It will mean that symbols of these hate groups will be listed under the new regime. And finally, the bill will amend the Migration Act to enable earlier, clearer and more defensible refusal and cancellation of visas where a non-citizen poses a risk to the Australian community through conduct that promotes hate, vilification or division, while ensuring consistency with constitutional constraints and existing character powers. The proposed changes in the Migration Act will strengthen the existing character powers to better protect the Australian community from non-citizens suspected of engaging in hate-motivated conduct or extremism. And, Speaker, I had the opportunity to listen to a number of members of the House who spoke on the Firearms and Customs Laws Bill this morning. And I think the reality is you don't need a Royal Commission or some investigation. We can all watch that footage, what happened on that dreadful night of the 14th of December last year. The gun didn't fire itself. The gun was in the hands of individuals who were holding hate and extremism in their heart. The reality is that this particular bill shouldn't be only addressed on its own. I mean, this legislation came as an omnibus bill, and it should be seen in its entirety. And I ask those in the chamber to really seek and look at the way this legislation is being presented to us today. The reality, it was hatred and extremism that pulled the trigger.